Hello again and welcome to Star Citizen Week in Review from Citizen Citadel. We're going to take a look at the newest 3.1.1 and upcoming 3.1.2 patches, the 100i, and the updates to the roadmap. So with that said, let's jump right in. Welcome back to our Week in Review for Star Citizen. The big news for this week is the release of the 100i, but before we get into that, let's look at what's changed in the verse. First off, Matt Sherman confirmed this week that the view issues for many of the ships were unintended. Ships such as the Cutlass or Razor have had very restricted field of views due to the multi-function displays blocking the screen. He confirmed that CIG know about the issue and will be working to fix it in the future. 3.1.1 was finally rolled out to the live servers this week, bringing a whole host of fixes. To highlight, we got a bold option for the character customizer, shortened insurance times and lower expedite fees, and 9 crashes in the memory leak got fixed. The ship insurance was causing quite a few issues in the verse, causing Citizen's clients to crash and then having to spend ages waiting for their insurance to claim. You can hear more about it on my 3.1 video here. The updated version is much quicker, and the expedite fees are now much more reasonable, no more waiting hours to claim ships. Fixing crashes is always great, and my experiences have been much more solid in 3.1.1, playing hours at a time with no crashes, but your mileage may vary. CIG pushed 3.1.2 into the PTU this week, bringing further changes. We weren't expecting a new patch quite so soon, but it's great to have anyway. A highlight of the patch notes shows CIG adding improved player persistence, mission improvements, fixing the ASOP, and as always, fixing a number of crashes and memory leaks. Player persistence got a huge improvement in 3.1.2, allowing you to spawn back where you were in your ship if your client crashes. This also allows you to keep all of the cargo that was in the ship when the game crashed. This is a huge benefit to those who like to do trade runs but were concerned about stability in 3.1. This will help a lot of citizens to be more successful at trading, and a huge shout out to the team that made this happen. This is definitely my favourite feature of 3.1.2. Missions have been improved slightly, allowing more to be generated by the server. A lot of citizens have taken to doing missions for AUEC in 3.1, so it's nice to see CIG trying to improve the experience, even if only slightly. The ASOP has been addressed to fix the insurance issues and remove the ship duplicate bug. In the Bug Smashers episode this week, CIG showed us how they fixed the ships being permanently removed from the verse. If a ship was left inside another ship and the outermost ship was insurance claimed, the one inside would be lost forever. This has now been fixed and should hopefully find its way into the next 3.1.2 patch. The latest 3.1.2e patch fixed 3 more client crashes and 3 server crashes. CIG ended the newly flyable ship sale this week, ending your chance to get the Warbond versions of the new ships. The Constellation was briefly unavailable, leading many to believe they were removing it from sale, but it returned shortly afterwards at the full price of $315. Now for the topic you've all been waiting for. This week CIG released the 100i, a new starter ship from Origin. The 100i is a sleeker, more upmarket starter ship. Chris Roberts really wanted more variety in the starter ships, allowing players to pick a style of ship manufacturer that they like. The 100i is the 4th starter ship to find its way into the verse, offering the same performance, but a different choice of aesthetic. I'm personally a big fan of Origin's style, and I've already picked up my 100i. There are 3 models in the 100 series: the base 100i Explorer, the 125A Military, and the 135 cargo models. The 100i has 2 SCU of cargo space, and is a good all-round starter ship. It's primarily white with blue highlights, and it looks very classic Origin. The 125A comes with 2 missile launchers, and black and grey design. It's very sleek looking, and I'd be tempted to pick one of these up if you're into combat. Finally, we've got the 135C, the blue and red cargo variant. It holds 6 SCU and would make a great little cargo starter. The ship comes with all the standard starter features, being single-seated, having a quantum drive, and a single bed. This is the first ship from a new concept artist CIG are working with, and it's exciting to see what they've come up with. The 100i is designed to be a luxury ship, having a very modern and minimalistic design. CIG have told us the design will stay mostly the same, though any changes are likely to be additive. The 100i comes with the new air system that was teased in this week's subscribers update. The air system, or adaptive intake refinery, allows the 100i to turn a wide range of sources into fuel. This will give you quite a long range in the verse, but not quite infinite. Definitely an advantage for you explorers out there. It was confirmed in RTV this week that the 100i will be the only ship to have the air system, but other ships will have a similar tech under a different name. Other manufacturers may also have similar tech under their own brand names. The designers also told us that they're hoping to have no struts in the canopy of the 100i, for those of you who are a fan of the clean design. This keeps in line with Origin's general design aesthetic. The 100 series door also has the steps built in, so pulling open the door to the ship will reveal the stairs. This hides them when the ship is closed and maintains the sleek design that's trademark on all Origin ships. It was also revealed that the 100i will have a maneuverability somewhere between an Aurora and a Mustang. CIG have told us that pre-production has now been completed, but no actual design work has begun, so we won't see the ship this year, but maybe in 2019. We got a double whammy of lore content this week, with CIG giving us insight into the background of Crusader Industries and a look at the Caliban system. Caliban has a war-torn history, giving us a look into the earlier days of human exploration in the universe. If this sounds interesting to you, head over to the lore post linked in the description. We also got a background on Crusader Industries. Crusader Industries is a non-profit ship manufacturer known for the Crusader Genesis Starliner. You may also know them from their Stanton-based gas giant ship factory, Crusader. The lore post goes into the background of the company and of the former CEO, August Dunlow. If you're interested in the background behind Crusader Industries and their charitable heritage, head over to the RSI post, linked in the description. It's definitely worth a read in my opinion. This week's Around the Verse brought us another episode of Shipshape. We got an update on the 100i, the 600i, the Aegis Hammerhead, and the Aegis Avenger. We'll skip over the 100i as we've already covered it, and move on to the Origin 600i. CIG told us the 600i will be very similar in function to the Constellation, but a more luxury variant. The 600i has been set up as a modular ship, with the central section being available in both touring and exploration modules. The touring module is kind of a ship hotel, designed for VIPs and diplomats, with the exploration variant being geared towards scanning and exploration. The exploration variant houses a buggy for exploring planets, and has a dedicated cargo lift for the buggy. The 600i overall is a very modern and sleek design, falling in with the other Origin ships that we've seen. The ship contains a lot of glass and is very open and light throughout. A cool lighting technique has been employed to make the living areas a warm orange light, and the crew areas use a more cool blue light. The cockpit is particularly impressive, having no struts to obstruct the view. I'd recommend taking a look if you haven't already. The 600i is in its final art pass, and the tech art team are starting to work through rigging everything up. The design team just have a couple of small concerns making the style consistent, and are just cleaning these up. The Explorer variant will be the first one to make its way into the verse, planned for Alpha 3.2. After the 600i is complete, the design team will be split, with one team working on the 890 Jump, and the other team working on the Banu Defender. For now though, we get a look at the Aegis Avenger rework. The focus of the redesign made the Avenger much taller than the previous model, to make the process of moving through the ship much easier, without the character having to stoop over. This being said, some clever design has been employed, using curves to hide the bulk of the height increases. The exterior is mostly the same, just larger. They kept the design influences to try and maintain the style of the Avenger. The new interior has been completed, and the ship is now going through the rest of the pipeline. The Avenger comes in the Stalker, Titan, and Warlock variants, and of these, the Stalker is the bounty hunter model, the Warlock is the fighter, and the Titan is the cargo ship. All three are similar, but the Stalker has prison cells in the rear, the Warlock has an EMP for knocking out enemies, and the Titan just has a large cargo bay. The Titan is the most flexible of the three, but all are great choices. The ship is quite cheap, and all variants offer good value for starter trades. Friday brought RTV, giving us chance to query 2 members of the tech art team and 1 of the vehicle artists, all of whom worked on the 100i. These guys confirmed a whole bunch of questions which I'll summarise here. All of the 100i questions were covered in the previous segment, so we won't repeat them here. First, we know the Avenger is going to get a standard nose hardpoint. We're not sure what weapon will be mounted there yet, but it will be a Gatling gun of some kind. They've also confirmed that size 1 weapons will be made more useful in the future, though they didn't elaborate on exactly how. CIG also confirmed they will be changing the way fuel works in the future to make it a more precious resource. Some ships won't be able to regenerate their fuel, and some will only be able to regenerate from certain sources. This will hopefully make the gameplay a little more strategic, so you have to plan your trips before you make them. It'll also push forward the refuel mechanic, allowing citizens to start playing this role. We got a number of updates on the 600i also. While the 600i was sold with the Origin rover, the rover won't be available in 3.2, as it isn't currently being worked on. It will be released in the future, though it hasn't been specified when. The rover will sit in the cargo space, so you will either have a rover and cargo or lots of cargo, the choice is yours. The 600i has 2 decks, though it does look bigger in some of the images. And finally, they compared the 600i and Constellation. While they are competitors, they are slightly different. The Constellation has more missiles, more cargo space, and a snub fighter, while the 600i is bigger overall and has the very fancy luxury design. For those of you waiting for the Avenger rework, CIG confirmed that the new design is about 3 meters longer, 3 meters wider, and a meter taller than the one currently flyable in the verse. Finally, CIG hinted that more Tier 1 starter ships may appear in the future from different manufacturers. This week saw a few tweaks to the roadmap, with the Odyssey flight suit rework being pushed back into 3.3, and the Legacy Marine and Outlaw armors split into sub-features. Work has begun on most of the items on the roadmap, though most have gained only a couple of tasks worth of progress. We should see this pace start to pick up as development moves full swing into 3.2. 3.3 has seen some progress also, with the development of Hurston and the truck stop being well underway already. Hurston is at a whopping 74%, with Lorville hitting 38% and the truck stop hitting 18%. We lost the Com Array revision from the 3.3 roadmap, but 2 new weapons have popped up in its place, the Joker Engineering Sucker Punch Cannon and the Kastak Arms Kana Assault Rifle. Overall, good progress on the roadmap this week, and hopefully development will settle in for next week's episode. CIG are having a free fly weekend this weekend from Friday the 13th to the 15th. During this time, anyone can sign up for an account and try out Star Citizen for free. Existing citizens can try all of these ships also. They'll be available in the ASOP terminal all weekend. The ships are the Drake Cutlass, the Tumbril Cyclone, the Consolidated Outland Mustang, and the Roberts Space Industries Aurora. So it's a great time to grab your friends and try out some Star Citizen. If you do enjoy and decide to join the verse, you can use my referral code, which is linked in the description, for an extra 5,000 UEC when you sign up. Overall, we've seen an improvement in the public opinion of Star Citizen this week, seeing CIG releasing patches on time and with most or all of the features promised has renewed faith in Star Citizen. It's great to see the community rally around the game once more, and much more happy posts full of content around the community. That's all from me for this week. Like if you liked it, subscribe for more news on Star Citizen, and drop me a comment letting me know what you think of the videos. I read all of the comments and reply to as many of them as I can. I'll be back next week for another episode of Week in Review, and until then, I'll see you guys around the verse.